everyone. All right. Okay. I want to invite all of you as well to Spirit Realm. Okay. Spirit Realm. You'll find it on Facebook. It's a Facebook page. And every Friday at 9 o'clock, I will be there live doing readings. And there's a lot of people there. So I want you to even check out a lot of the other, there's animal readers. There's a medium. She's really good. She actually picked up on my father. There's a whole bunch of readers on Spirit Realm. Spirit Realm on Facebook. And I will put the link down there on my YouTube channel. An Aries, or you're going to fall in love with an Aries, or just want to hang out with an Aries, you have to be exciting and adventurous, and you got to be on your toes because they get bored easily. They'll say things exactly how they mean it, and they get over it very quickly, whether it's your moon, your Mars, your Venus, or your sun in Aries, whether it's sidereal or Western. I do sidereal, which is the proper astrology, in my opinion. It's factual, it's constellations. But Aries needs you to be on the edge. And the more on the edge that you are, the more that an Aries wants you. And so they like the chase, the cat and mouse chase, right? So they'll pick fights sometimes just so the relationship will go new because they love the chase. That's really exciting and important to them. So even though they come off really strong, Aries, and very fast, they want you fast. If you really want to have a long-term relationship with them, don't just fall for everything all the time because they'll get bored, and they like the challenge. They really like challenges. Some of them are quite athletic too. So they want you to be active and very much turn on a dime, change things just like that. A Taurus, they want financial freedom. They want somebody who's financially responsible. They want somebody that buys and purchases things like homes and items that are going to sustain itself long term. So they don't mind spending the money on it. Some of them are much more earthbound. So they love to garden and they love to cook and they love to work with their hands, for instance, with wood or clay. And it's important for them to be able to have a relationship where you're loyal because they're going to be loyal to a fault. Sometimes they're loyal to friends that you're not too happy with, but that's why they're loyal to you too. So you can't pick and choose where they choose where their loyalty is directed. Gemini needs conversation and communication. So if you meet with a Gemini or you are a Gemini, you're going to find yourself wanting the person to ask you a lot of questions, and you ask a lot of questions. You need somebody that communicates. You need somebody who's a very good listener. If you're with a Gemini, you better put on your listening ears because you need someone who's a good listener. They're not always the greatest listener, just a heads up, but they like somebody who's a good listener because they like to fabricate stories and give you the details of stories when they're talking and communicating with you. They're also multitaskers, so they're a little bit ADD, ADHD. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. They're multitasking. Cancers need attention and love attention, and they want you to nurture them. The men want you to, or the male wants you to mother them, and the females want to mother you, and they want to nurture you and take care of you. They need to be needed, but they also want you to nurture them and take care of them because sometimes they forget to do it for themselves. The Leo, they like you to just shower them with attention. Tell them they're beautiful. Don't give them flowers every Friday. That's not enough. You got to shake it up a bit. You got to be a little bit more creative. They like it if you're creative as well, and you shower them with attention. They want to be the king and queens of the zodiac. That doesn't mean that they got to all have a big fat ego. Some of them might have a lot of Cancer in their chart, or they might have a lot of Virgo in their chart. But if you shower them with real attention, not just fake, right? It's got to be real. I love the way your eyes twinkle when you talk. Seriously, they do. And they know that's an attribute that they have. Don't fake it. Don't say, I love your, I don't know, something that they don't like at all. You've got to be the real deal. Virgos like to problem solve, but don't problem solve for them. They like you to cater to them and serve them. Make sure they have their coffee and they've got their favorite. You don't use their last bit of their favorite creamer in the fridge. Start their car if it's cold and warm in the morning. Just do things that caters to them. If you know that you use the last bit of the toilet paper, put the other toilet paper back on. They're going to really appreciate that because it's one of their pet peeves, right? And they have some pet peeves. Libra, help a Libra make decisions for themselves. If you want to be in a long-term relationships, you got to make sure Libras will make decisions for themselves, but they're always going to say whatever you want to do. They're afraid to make the wrong choice. They're afraid to hurt your feelings. They're afraid that they're going to make a bad decision. So they become very indecisive. But if you, first of all, you start making decisions at the beginning, but slowly get to know who they are and make decisions they like, and then start making decisions, asking them to make decisions. One week we're going to go out and I'm going to choose. Next week we're going to go out and you're going to choose. And don't run it by me. Just choose it and we're going to go. Because that kind of people pleasing can actually tear apart a relationship in the long run. Scorpios, where they're sensual and they're sexy and they want you to feel that they're sensual and that they're sexy no matter what, but that doesn't mean you just go after them like a rabid dog, right? You have to respect their privacy. They will want to know everything about you because they have trust issues, but they will tell very little about themselves because they have trust issues. So it takes a while to get to know a Scorpio. But once you get to know them, they're going to hang on to you. You ain't going anywhere. Sagittarius have this great sense of humor. They're sarcastic, so you got to have a dark, sarcastic sense of humor, and they're very smart. They like to find the meaning of life to everything. They like to philosophize about everything. So you got to be a little bit philosophical when you're with them. They're not easy to tie down. Sages are not easy to tie down. They're usually subconsciously look for someone who's physically, emotionally, or intellectually unavailable. Because subconsciously they don't realize they don't want to tie down. They're the ones that are the masters at long distance relationships. The Capricorns are hard workers. So they are slow in a relationship. If you've gone on to the third date with them, then you're serious. But you won't know it because they won't really say you're the one, but you're serious because they're in a relationship for the long haul. They take relationships very seriously. So that's why they take it slow. Once you're in a relationship with a Capricorn, though, they're off to work because they're workaholics. So you're going to have to make them work at the relationship. And they will if you make them work at it. Aquarians, they're the humanitarians. They're the woos. They're the weirdos. And they are attracted to people that are a little off. Depends if they might have Capricorn in their chart. They might have Pisces in their chart. But in general, they like someone who's a bit different, doesn't care about what other people think, goes by the beat of their own drum. They're pretty interested in technology, so they hope that you are as well. And they like their freedom because they can get a little cold, they can get a little detached, and you might not know, like, do they like me? Don't they like me? They're a little standoffish, and they'll do this. You got to start off with an Aquarius, or if you're an Aquarius, you're best to start off a relationship as a friendship first. It has to be friendship first, because if they ain't your friend, they're not going to stick around long. They want to hang around with you no matter how attracted you are, how much money you have, how smart you are. They want to like hanging around with you, or they're not going to stick around. Pisces, they need their alone time. You're with a Pisces, you're going to have to accept that they're going to have their ebbs and flows, and you might call it depression, you might call it downtime, but really it's that they're constantly empathically plugged in. And when they come home, they need to unplug. So you've got to be emotionally regulated, because otherwise they're going to be constantly emotionally regulating you, and they don't want that. And then many of them have abandonment issues. They're very creative. They like music. Draw a bath for them. They'll be so happy if you do that. So now let's go into doing some readings. Hi, Lily Kim. And it's not even. So let's take a look at, how does July 11 love? And I really want your feedback, guys, as quickly as you can. Feedback, so that we can sort of this dialogue forth. And just let the audience know, is jiving with you? Is it connecting? Do you feel that? So this is interesting because you have a double earth sign with your Venus and your Mars. Remember, I do sidereal astrology. So even though you can come across as a chitty chatty, gabby, friendly type of person, when it comes down to it, you need somebody that is practical, rational, that is a really good problem solver, that is grounded with their financial situation. You don't want somebody that is afraid to earn money. You don't want somebody that doesn't save their money. You don't want somebody that's frivolous with their money. You want somebody that serves them, because you will serve as well. You're that person that not really caretaking. It's more, them their coffee and getting them their slippers and turning down their bed and you're that person that does start the car when you're starting your car because you're in a hurry. You're that person that says, I'm at the store. Do you want your favorite? I'm good. Or you just get them because that's what you do. And you want your partner to do the same thing for you. All right. That was July 11th, 82. I didn't get feedback from her. So now I'm going to do June 18th as is 82. And give me your birth date and your birth information. And I'm going to tell you how and who you love. How do you love? What kind of person do you love? Now, this one is very, very different. Then I'm going to go over to YouTube and see what's going on YouTube as well. AskHollyHall.com is where you can get a reading. I do a lot of relationship readings for people. So with the June 18th, your Venus is in Aries and your Mars is in Virgo. This is very, very, very different. If you are attracted to the bad boy, you're attracted to the person or girl. You're attracted to the person that lives on the edge. I've got March 23rd. You're number 4. And number 3 after this one is March 1997. I didn't get a number. I didn't get what day you were born. If you're still here, March 97, put down the whole thing, March, blah, blah, 97. Okay. So you that person that's living on the edge, but then you can start to get nitpicky about them, that they're not thoughtful. They're not thinking. You start problem solving for them because they're impatient. They're ADD. They're feisty. They're a bit pushy. They can be a bit aggressive because you can get bored. So these aggressive, assertive type relationships become, thank you, March, become exciting for you. So you got to be careful. You get these partners really exciting and on the edge and assertive and aggressive at times, and even athletic and impatient, but then you try to bring patience to them. You try to bring calm to them. You try to bring relaxation to them. And that doesn't always work for you. In fact, relationships just seem to like blink, 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 blink. They go very quickly. Or you're in a relationship where it goes up and down, constant fighting, and there's bickering and there's constant arguing, and you don't mind it. Actually, you don't like somebody the wallflower or too shy or too reserved in general. I'm going to go, not getting any feedback there. I'm going to go to we got June 12th. So June 12th, Sage, you're okay. And I know that's attentive. AskHollyHall.com is where you can get a reading from. And you are kind of similar to the one that I mentioned. You are attracted to those that live on the edge. They're feisty. They can be argumentative. They're very similar, actually. And you ones that are very independent. Sometimes they're too independent, and sometimes they're too aggressive and assertive. You want somebody who's like, you're going to be that night and you're going to be my soulmate. And we're going to live happily ever after because you're going to be loyal to a fault. You're going to be feisty, and you're going to put up with. You need someone who's strong, who can with you, with your ups and downs too, because you burn your candles at both ends. One minute you're like an Energizer bunny, and the next minute you're like, I just need to sleep for the entire weekend. So you need someone who can kind of can adjust because you're calm, right? And Sage says that's true. June 29th. How is hubby? Okay. Let's look at June 28th. And June, we are looking at June 28th, 69. Now, I know that this is very similar to somebody that I had just with here and talked to about. This is somebody who is very restless. Sexuality, sensuality is very important. This is somebody that when they're angry, they bottle a lot up. They bottle it all up, and then it pops off like a cork and just goes poof. And then it sounds aggressive and it sounds assertive. This is somebody who does need somebody who can, this is readings. Yeah, Emmy. So all you do, I'm looking at Mars and Venus to find out, how do you love? Who are you attracted to? You give love to somebody else, because this is a week of love with Valentine's Day. So they need somebody who allows them to express themselves, because in the long run, yeah, Emmy, just give me your birth information, your birth date, and we'll get to you soon. So I've already done this one. I've already done this one. Here, November 23rd. Just put November 23rd. Don't say me because I'm not going to go up to see who is November 23rd. Okay. So just say, yep, I'm here. Okay. Perfect. I need your year. I need your birth date. I need your as well. So put June 16th in a year again, Emmy. If this person that your husband that you're married to, Lily, isn't allowed to pop his cork, and you suppress it or control it or tell him to stop acting this assertive or aggressive, he will start to suppress it and it'll never come out. Does need somebody who can eat, and he does need somebody who can fight back too. Not fight back to control him and make him stop, but just go like, you don't talk to me like that. Who do you think you are? Ah, blah, 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 whatever. Just go take a walk. After he bottlenecks. So, and when it comes out, it's like, right? Also, sexual pending. I mean, what's going on with him? But his needs to be met. Privacy needs to be met as well. Sexuality needs to be met, or that can get bottled up too. He may not express that because he may find that improper, right? But that's basically who he is. I'll see if I got feedback there. Yes, he is. So true. Yep. Okay. So now let's take a look at, I did June. Let's take November, March 23rd. You're after this. November 23rd. And see, how do you love? Who do you love? You guys, I'm on askhollyhall.com is where you can get mini readings as little as $30. I'm going to be on Spirit Realm. So I'm going to be here at 8 o'clock on Friday, every Friday. I might stop that eventually and just stay on Spirit Realm. It's a Facebook page. There's tons of other readers, and I will be 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Friday starting tomorrow. Spirit Realm. I'll put it down there in my YouTube profile description of this. So November 23rd, how do you love? Who do you love? How do you give love? How do you receive love? What do you want when it comes to love? You are that people pleaser, okay? You're the people pleaser, and you have to be very, very careful because you accommodate anybody wants, specifically your partner. You're having a rough time here, actually, specifically with bosses, with father figures. And if you're not in a relationship, you're having a rough time staying or sticking into a relationship. This is a tough year. This is about you not suppressing things, but it's also about who do you trust yourself and because you step forward for everything, you're yes to everything. People can take advantage of you very easily. And you're in this year that you're going to be much more almost intuitive, very intuitive of who you can't trust. So what it's going to ask you to do is you've already been lied to. You've had a lot of deception in relationships, and it's basically because you're a pushover. You got to stop being that. So what is it? You start making decisions. You start making choices. This is the best advice that I can give to somebody who's a double Libra, Venus and Mars in Libra, is never say yes. Can you believe it, Libras? Never say yes? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so it's not never. And your immediate reaction is not a yes. And I'll give you examples. Number one, if a person asks you, can you get me a cup of coffee because you're going out for lunch and you went in office? Your immediate reaction will be, did you say you wanted a cup of coffee at Starbucks or this other place? And they'll be like, yeah, get me a double. Say, that gives you a split second to think. And you know what? Got a whole bunch of stuff to do. Don't over-explain yourself because you are someone that would over-explain. I got to go to the pharmacy, got to go to the doctor's, got to go to this shopper, whatever. No, just say I got a bunch of stuff to do. If I'll and let you know. I'll text you and let you know. 9 out of 10 times, they're going to find another source. They're so used to you saying yes. You're going to feel guilty at first. You're going to go like, oh my gosh, I should have just got it for them. Now I'm not the people pleaser. They're not going to like me. No, they're going to get to a new version of you. If your kid says to you or your husband says to you, can we do that on Saturday night? Can we talk about it after dinner? Okay. Can we do it after dinner? And you need time to think of all we're going to come up with. Where are we going? What do we need to bring? How are we going to get there? And then if your boss asks you for work, much more serious thing, take over Mary's job next week. Say, can I let you know morning? because otherwise you're overwhelmed with things and you only have yourself to blame, but you build up a resentment on that. Okay, March, already did June. March 23rd, 97. You're next. Can you say, yeah, I'm here so I can get feedback? Thank you for feedback, everybody. The universe loves feedback. They're going to give you more love because you're telling the universe, yeah, that's who I am. I'm owning it. I'm owning it. I know that's who I am. I'm going to let it in the universe. You're back on this, right? Thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate that. The universe, God, source, angels, guides. There's a whole bunch of them out there. They all love your feedback. Okay. So with oh wow, okay, you're living on the edge here a little bit. Venus and Mars. Couple of tendency. Mars, hard to say. Are you attracted to somebody? Do you become very attracted very quickly? Not KS97, and you fall in love with love. Like everybody's in love. I need to be in love. Oh my gosh, I see this person from afar. So in love. The one for me. Okay, that's you. Good. So then you've got the Mars in Leo. You got to be very careful because you're enamored. You fall in love with love. It's basically what it is, right? You believe that a soulmate is one that completes your sentences, that makes you look good and they make you look good. You lavish them with attention, maybe even much attention. But the crazy thing is that once you're in love with your soulmate, and you have a very good chance actually of anybody to fall in love with a soulmate, but your soulmate is not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy relationship because you two are upgrading your love. For instance, if you guys were soulmates past, see that you did have that soulmate was not there for you. You have massive abandonment issues in this lifetime. It came from your parents when you were younger. It already came from some love relationships as well. And so you find yourself, KS, are you female? And KS, if you're female, are you looking for the same sex partnership? So with your female, okay. And are you looking for the same sex relationship? Either way, there is abandonment from this, and you be attracted to partners that are not there. Okay. You're looking for a man. Okay. You tend to be attracted to partners that are not necessarily there in the long run. They lavish you with all this attention because you're a good looking girl. Okay. And they give you a lot, and then you fall in love. He speaks louder than words. I will give you the best advice, and the best advice. This literally was a download for me this afternoon. And this is why I decided to do one on love rather than on career and purpose. Is if a person tells you everything they're going to be to you right at the beginning of the relationship, right? If they tell you, you're the one for me, I've never met anybody like you, I can't wait to get to know you. We have so much in common. I am crazy about you, right? It may be true, like right in the heat of the moment, but they're not going to be the one long term for you. Most of the time, they're not going to mean what they say. First of all, just imagine this. If you're the person, because you fall in love really quickly and very fast, if you're the person that goes like, oh my gosh, you're the one for me, I'm already seeing if our last name matches my first name and how many kids we're going to have, right? You're already there. You don't know that. You could be saying that to the biggest jackass in the world. You have no idea. So you may say it because you're in love with love, but you can't really mean it because you don't really know them, right? And if they're saying it to you, it's the same thing. They don't know you. They don't know anything about you. They have no idea. In fact, they're trying to reel you fast. Maybe they want to, get something. And I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust somebody that reels you in real fast. Ever find romantic love again? Romance is work in a relationship. If you're somebody that falls out of love with the work very quickly, falls out of love with the career, falls out of love with your friendships, falls out of love with where you live, you get bored easily, you need things to shop and change, then romantic love, you need at it. Because when the honeymoon stage is over, you will get bored and you won't be in love anymore. And that's what you'll think. Well, my heart's just not in it anymore. I just don't love them the same way as I did at the beginning. Because you got to work on romantic love. I've been married 3 times. This marriage is 20 years this year. I've known him for 22 years. And yeah, the first ones were short and sweet, but it took work. It took work. And we are two souls that have, but this lifetime, we're really upgrading on that means loving each other, not because of romance, loving each other because the love is just pure. And no matter what they do or what anybody does, like we're teaching each other long-term, fall in love with a blade of grass kind of love. That's not romantic love, but it can feel really, really good, really good. Okay. And I wanted that romantic love at first. I'm guilty of that. Let's see anybody on you that's interested in getting a love reading. Love potion number 9. Anybody on YouTube want a love reading? So let's take a look at March 23rd. I did March 23rd, 97, didn't I? Everyone, I'm going to be back. Did you give me your birth information? Okay, somebody gave me their birth without the year, so I can do that. So give me your birth information with your year as well. And so will I ever find romantic love? Joanne Hill, I can take a look at it if you give me your information. AskHollyHall.com. You can get a mini reading. I can tell you everything about you. I could go on and on and on and on when it comes. I've got hundreds of clients. Like I'm booked solid Friday, booked solid Saturday. Like I've been doing this in my since I was endorsed by for the last 8 years. This is my full-time job. I make more money now than I've ever made, and I don't charge a lot. Okay. I get a lot of emailed readings and mini readings. I've got coaching clients that are here on a regular basis. Is where you can know more about me. You can go to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. That's how you get notification when I'm on live. You're a fire starter. You are a firecracker. I don't know what time you were born, so I'm not sure, but that doesn't matter. You're going to find love this year, but don't wait till next year. It'll be tough. So if you find love this year, which will be in the summer of 2020, but you fall in love hard and fast, right? You can't hear it inside. That's really, really fast. And you talk fast, and you can be, if you're to that practical, rational, soft, caring girl, she gonna run in the opposite direction, right? You keep yourself from falling hard in love. Don't get me wrong. But you can stop what comes in your brain and out your mouth. You've got to be careful what comes out of your mouth. You don't have to say everything that comes into your brain, right? And you look for the ideal partner. They have to be gorgeous. They have to be beautiful. They have to be sexy. They have to be a star. They have to be the star of the show. You can fall with long distance relationships where you never even really see the person and you just get images, because you can fall in love with an image. You have to be very careful. You can fall in love this year, but there will be next year a price to pay around that, which is just make sure this year you're not falling in love with somebody you've not met a few times, many times. Okay. Let's just AskHollyHall.com is where you can get overhanging. Guys, I had some technical difficulties. Going to put this edited version up on YouTube. It'll go up automatically, but then I'll take it down and do that. I thank everyone. I'll see you Friday at 8:00 Eastern time, but I'm going to be on Spirit Realm, which will be down there on my YouTube description at 9:00 on Fridays. Sooner or later, I'm going to just move it, just doing Fridays. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Okay. You're welcome for the reading. Thank you. Thank you for hanging in. It's my pleasure for each and soul. It's my pleasure. Namaste.